So it's 3:30 in the morning, and I got bored. I couldn't sleep. I'm tired. Still have a headache from earlier, but I was like, I guess I'll make a video. And something that's been on the back of my mind, it's on the back burner, is the Last Zombies cutscene. Not using the script, not using anything. Just want to talk about it, what I think about it, what it really means, and how it fits into the zombie storyline, I suppose. So like I said, I'm not using the script, and I'm going to start with what I really think about it. Really and truly, we were all hyped for Monty boss fight. We were hyped to see what Monty will do, how we'll defeat Monty, right? And that's what everyone was hyped for, was we're about to fight like a god. Like, that's freaking epic, dude. How are Ultimus and Primus going to defeat this god, Monty, right? So Nikolai's like, Monty's not the villain, we're the villain. And it just felt like a weird way to end zombies. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about the animation style. I get it, budget cut and all that, but really and truly, I just really wanted Monty to be more involved than like having like 2 seconds of screen time in the cutscene, something like that, right? It was just his face for a few seconds. Um, Another thing that I really think about the cutscene is they really went for quantity over quality. Like I said, the animation style, I didn't really want to talk about it, but I felt like the cutscene would have been just as good if it was shorter and like end game rendered. But they wanted to include a lot of talking from Nikolai, a lot of monologue, and that's alright. Another thing I really didn't like personally, and this is really unpopular, I feel like everyone loved this scene, it was just me, was the very last piece where a lot of people didn't even get to see for themselves. A lot of people had YouTube because the game would freaking like not crash, but like you aired out before you got to see the last part of the cutscene. I didn't really like that part of the cutscene anyhow, but the only reason is because it's just them walking out of the dark ether. Uh, I don't get why I mean, I guess I get why the characters had to die, but Samantha is just as much part of the paradox as the other guys, right? I mean, they're all involved. What makes Samantha special? Why is she not part of the paradox? Because she wasn't part of the Great War? Was it because she's not, like, part of the crew? Like, I don't know. Like, I felt like there's a lot of middle ground that wasn't covered. Other than that, I loved the fact that they ended with what they wanted to do with their lives. Obviously, they can't do any of that because they're dead in the dark ether, but that's sad. Now, on to what I like. I love all the symbolism in the cutscene, and honestly, I didn't really grasp it the first time, or the second time, or the 20th time watching it. This YouTuber, Tim, he really connected the dots for the symbolism within the cutscene. Right, you have like Nikolai talking about how there's no other way they can end it, right? And he's like representing Treyarch. There's no way they can end with everyone being happy about the zombies storyline. Like, it's a 10-year journey. No, everyone's not going to be happy with the ending cutscene. Like, people not happy that Monty's not in it, right? A lot of people are not going to be happy, and it's true. You can't please everyone. Freaking Dempsey, he represents the character, like you, the player, right? By Dempsey, I mean Ultimus Dempsey, because he's the one that breaks the fourth wall, like, hey, player, need some ammo, you know, right? And he is actually the very last thing, the very last line you hear is what he says. It's like, wherever I go, I'll be kicking butt, you know? And he's talking about the player, like, it's really symbolic, and it's just amazing. I was watching a lot of YouTubers react to it, right? And I love the variety of reactions to it. I think JC backfired. He's just crying, like, even before the cutscene. He's tearing up, super emotional. And a lot of people were. My reaction, it was pretty vague. It was not vague, sorry, that's not the word used. It was pretty bland. Like, I was just silent, really, the most of the time, confused. I was really trying to grasp what was going on. It was fun. It was a good cutscene, but at the same time, it wasn't. And that's what Nikolai said. You can't please everyone. It pleased me, but not to the full extent I wanted it to please me. It's really hard to end the 10-year journey Zombies has been on. I've been here since Black Ops 1, Kino du Toten. A lot of people say not. A lot of people who say that are lying, I bet, but, you know, I've been here since Kino. Same time? No. Freaking, it better not be.
Comrades, as we toast our victory,
It is, oh my god.
I want each of you to think about what you really want.
We're talking
Where
there.
would you like to go now? Believe me, you can have it.
Bedtime. So I know I'm talking in the cutscene, but it's the only clip I have of me beating it, and I don't want to use anybody else's. But long story short, with that first part of the cutscene, it's Nikolai. He's like, "Yeah, we accomplished our mission. Good job, guys." And he brings up the idea that, what do you want to do in life? Like, what now? And you get to hear their response to that at the very, very end of the cutscene. Like, the very end, right? With, you know, like, Dempsey is like, or Ultimus Dempsey is like, yeah, wherever I'm going, I'm kicking butt, you know? It's really cool to see that they get this piece. They beat their mission. 10 years of this, for them, it was forever. It was a cycle for them. To finally break the cycle, to finally be done, they get to move on.
Hello? Richthofen? Has something gone wrong? We did everything you asked! You haven't forgotten about us, have you?
No, Sammy. I haven't forgotten about you.
It is time, Richthofen. The multiverse must come to an end. The paradox must be resolved. At least, it will be quick.
So you get to see Victus, right? They're still in Siberia. They're stuck there. Usually at the end of their mission, they get teleported to safety. Richthofen's like, yeah, here you go. There's a portal. But where's the portal? They're still in Siberia. They're still stuck there. What's going on? So Stuhlinger contacts Richthofen, and he's understandably confused at the fact that they're still in Siberia being attacked by zombies. And then it cuts to the forest. Then you see Nikolai and Zombie Richthofen. Now, before I continue, Zombie Richthofen, we don't know why he's Zombie Richthofen here. Nobody does. There's a few theories going out like, yeah, in Maxis in-game, you know, he was doomed to be Zombie Richthofen, right? The life force, there's another one where it's the life force. When he touched himself, it was only for a limited time, so he's going to revert back to his zombie form. There's a number of them. There's no prominent proof of what's going on. So then we got to Nikolai. He's like, yeah, the universe, we gotta make it gone, like dead, right? At least it will be quick, he says. So he's ready to end the universe, or I should say the multiverse, and send it all to the Dark Aether. He's not hesitating. He's ready to do this. This is his plan. He obviously didn't tell anybody else this plan, and he wanted everybody to have a peaceful, like, time for their last night, their final night.
What are you talking about? We found the Aether device!
I know. And I'm so sorry.
Me too, Richtofen.
For this next part, we see the summoning key get destroyed. Nikolai places it above the Agorthan device, and it shatters. The summoning key is done. Now remember, the summoning key had the Shadow Man in it at this point in time. It had all the souls in it. It's all gone now. In fact, anything the summoning key has like affected is gone. And this starts a chain reaction that destroys the multiverse. That was his plan. That's how he did it. He destroyed the summoning key. Then it it shows Richtofen apologizing. Ultimus Richtofen, we know he's not a good guy, but he grew a bond with the Victus crew, especially Stuhlinger, and the fact that he had to lie to them, he had to lead them to their untimely death. It was pretty sad. And Richtofen's he's sorry. He apologizes. He's so sorry. And then we see them wipe away. That's the first sign of the multiverse disappearing into the dark ether. You just see it turn into darkness. It's gone. Call of the Dead or Siberia. It's gone. Marlton, Misty, Stuhlinger, and Rustman, they're done. They're adios. They're out of there. Nikolai, it's part of his plan. If you didn't pick up on it already, his plan is destroying everything. I know it sounds like a bad thing, but his end goal is to stop the cycle, stop Monty, stop Shadow Man, stop it all, stop zombies. The main goal, it's echoed throughout all the zombies really, is to save the children, to protect the children. And Samantha and Eddie must be protected.
We fought for what we wanted. We got more than we deserved. All the chapters of our lives, good and bad. Even if there was no witness, even if no one cared to see, it still happened somewhere. We fought the Great War over and over, but victory could never be ours. We were always doomed to fail. Monty told us the truth. Our journey is the very reason this madness exists. We are the ones who fractured the universe. This is the truth the Chronorium showed me. The truth Richtofen could no longer face. When we are gone, so too is everything that spewed forth from the ether. Element 115, the Apothecars, even Monty himself. All of it will be banished to where it belongs. The Dark Ether.
So what Nikolai is explaining here is that anytime they fight the Great War, they're always going to lose. Even when they win, they lose, because the cycle will always repeat no matter what. If they're alive, the cycle will happen. They're the reason everything exists. They are the vessels of the Dark Ether, to say the least. With Dempsey, Nikolai, Richtofen, Takio, Ultimus, and Primus, if they breathe, then ether exists, and we don't want the ether to exist. That's element 115, that's the Apothecans, that's Monty. With all of that existing, there's not a normal Earth that, like, we see in real life, right? We have this video game that has zombies. They just want there to be normality. That's not a word, is it? I don't know. So, he also explains how the Great War is themselves. It's tough to like bear that in mind. Richtofen couldn't bear it. He tried to save his friends, and that was his goal. He would even sacrifice himself to make sure his friends lived. Richtofen couldn't live with that. Nikolai, he's the one who had to bite the nail. He was like, I will make sure that the Aether is gone, and he will sacrifice himself and his friends, something Richtofen couldn't do. He obviously was bent about it. He didn't want to, but he had to. He bit the nail. It's like a cheap cop out to say like, oh yeah, none of this will ever happen. There's more.
We should not be here. Our time has passed.
He drugged all the drinks.
But for all the pain and torment we have endured together, as we leave this life behind, it is my hope that you know one thing beyond any doubt.
Look away, Eddie.
You are more than just my allies, my brothers in arms. You were my friends.
June 144 major overload. So Nikolai, he ended the entire crew, both crews, Ultimus and Primus. He poisoned the drinks. What did I say? What did I say? He drugged the drinks. Pretty retarded. He poisoned the drinks, as you can tell by the foam coming out of their mouth. Something I noticed actually pretty recent, like 30 minutes ago, going over the cutscene, is you see Ultimus Richtofen, non-zombified, drugged and... Not drugged, what the heck's wrong with me? Poisoned and killed from the poison drink. So my question is, where did zombie Richtofen come from? Did zombie Richtofen come from the poison Richtofen? Or were there two different Ultimus Richtofens there? I am actually really confused. I'm gonna look into that. But zombie Richtofen and Ultimus Richtofen. Alright, well, I'm confusing myself, but you see them dead, and like I said, Nikolai needed this to happen. And then he gives the gun to Samantha. And this part I really like. I really love what they did. Remember, the first Easter egg we ever had was Little Lost Girl. Or hide and seek. What the heck, dude? Oh my gosh. Hide and seek in Doris way back in the day in World at War. It was this Easter egg for Samantha. Samantha is really what started this. It's what started zombies. Samantha. She was the little girl that was like creepy and like everybody like was theorizing over. And she's the one who gets to end the zombies. Like, she puts a bullet in Nikolai's head, ending this whole Aether chaos. It's chaos. I hate that story. I want to see where it goes though. But it's really neat to see that they get to tie it all, like Samantha, into this, right? Eddie, he's there, whatever, dude. It's Eddie. No one cares about Eddie, let's be honest. But Samantha, like, it's so cool. I'm not going to get into the German accent or the American accent. I'm still confused by that to this very day. But it was really nice seeing that. and I love all the symbolism within the cutscene. I kind of talked about it a little bit, but the Great War was trying to find out how it ends zombies, right? The players will not be happy. I mean, not all of them. You can't please everyone. What time is it? I'm really tired. I'm not using a script. It's 4:30. I've been working on this video for a hot minute. For Nikolai, he's done. I'm done. Not Bondar, freaking Jason Blundell's done. Craig Houston, he's done. They needed to end this. Otherwise, the cycle would be getting the same content. Like Black Ops 4 was just recycled maps. Cycle. They had to end the cycle. That's the Great War, was coming at peace to end the zombie storyline. It's really, really symbolic. Honestly, personally, I love it. I know I will say that I'm not pleased by the cutscene, but the symbolism is amazing. I'm getting back into my opinion. I know I'm supposed to explain it here, but what more is there to say? Like, Nikolai had a plan. He executed the plan. Our characters are dead. The cycle's broken. That's all you really need to know. There's not really any hidden meaning. There's some Easter eggs, of course, and there's some questions like zombie Richtofen. What can I say? Last but not least, I forgot to talk about this. I'll have to add this in last second, but you get to see all the characters walking at the end. Like I said, I didn't get this footage because I got the major overload. But it shows what they said, what they wanted to do at the end of their journey, what they wanted to do with their life. Like Ultimus Richtofen, he wanted to own a morgue. Primus Richtofen wanted to be a doctor. Whatchamacallit? Primus Dempsey wanted to be a DI, which is a drill instructor, for those who don't know. They're the ones who wear like the circle hat. They were ready to move on. Too bad they can't. They have to die. They have to remain in the Dark Aether. And as they're saying this, you see Samantha and Eddie exiting the Dark Aether. Waffles shedded light that this is pretty symbolic, that this is the light. It's the last light. Like, go watch Waffles videos. Go watch Tim's video. I am about to fall asleep, but just remember that this whole cutscene just has so much symbolism in it. I haven't talked about all the symbolism. In fact, I encourage you listening to go and try to do some literary analysis on the cutscene. I know it's not a literary piece, you're not reading it, but that doesn't mean you can't unwind and figure out the deeper meaning, because there is some deeper meanings in this cutscene. Whether it ties into zombies as a whole, Treyarch as a studio, you as a player, the characters, like, just go and explore this whole ending cutscene. It's explained it as best as I could with as much symbolism as I could, but really and truly, it's something you need to experience on your own. So I'm kind of going to dwell over zombies for a hot minute. I've been in it since Kino der Toten. I remember getting Black Ops 1 in a stock. It wasn't in a box. It wasn't in a present. It was in my stocking. Black Ops 1. I lived in some pretty ghetto apartments, and I've been through a lot with Call of Duty Zombies. I've grown to it. I remember my first gameplay. I was trying to jump through the barriers, and I barely even knew how to play Call of Duty. I was a multiplayer guy, right? And I was pretty bad. And when I saw the zombies, I shot at him, sure, but like I died in like round 2. I was trying to jump through barriers. I was trying to like figure out what to do. It took me a few games of Kino to understand. I remember when I first loaded into 5, I was really shocked. I was like, what? Playing as John F. Kennedy? I know that guy. I didn't know the other 3, like, what was it, Castro, McNamara. Who's the other guy? I can't remember right now. But man, freaking zombies has come a long way. Like, I have some pretty fond memories playing with my two older brothers. It was the way we bonded was through Black Ops 1 zombies, especially Ascension. Even when we did glitches, it was an amazing way to bond with them. Going into Black Ops 2, I didn't really like Black Ops 2 zombies, but I was known for the guy that helped everyone with the Easter eggs. I've pressed that button on Barry like 20 times. I remember it is a low light, but I freaking joined the Zombies clan, right? I met a lot of cool people through the Zombies clan. It was so fun. It was awesome. I eventually freaking used my Zombies account on multiplayer. Met a pretty cool person through that. She's awesome, I guess. I've been through a lot of zombies. I have hundreds, if not, I'm in the quadruple digits of hours on zombies. Black Ops 3, I've spent so much time going for high rounds in Black Ops 3. Revelations round, it's the only map I got to round 100. I remember hitting round 100, and that's when I started the Easter egg, was round 100. I was like, yes, I'm gonna do the Easter egg now. I got to round 103, I'm doing the Apothecant egg step, and then I shoot my thunder gun, and the game decides to just bug out. I errored out. I got an overload error, or something like that. I remember the Zetsubu no Shima spider. I remember how I was on like round 40 something, and then I was trapped in the corner. I got into my spider, and the zombies glitched me out of the map. I went under the map, and then hit a death barrier and died. That was a time to be alive. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna make like a zombies highlight video of all my zombies moments. Black Ops 4 zombies is obviously a really bad time for zombies. Every single Aether map was recycled and reused from older games. I remember when Call of the Dead was being teased, like the Tog toting, and nobody was ready for it. People were like, that's the only Aether map that hasn't been remastered that's not Victus. Now all we have is Victus maps, and people were theorizing Zombies Chronicles 2 for Victus. Die Rise, Transit remastered would be so cool. Okay. Buried. Will we have the two-sided Easter egg? Will they bring new Easter eggs? Like, we don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of just on my soapbox right now. Like, I could talk about zombies, excuse me, forever. I'm not using the script. I'm really talking from the top of my head at 4:45 in the morning. Cutscenes, dude. Black Ops 1 through 2, it was really, like, confusing. We didn't know what was going on. A lot of theories. Then at the end of Black Ops 2, we got our first cutscene for Origins. Unfortunately, people found that cutscene before the Easter egg was completed, and it really ruined it. But it started making sense for zombies. And we got into Black Ops 3, and we started having cutscenes for like every Easter egg, and it really shedded a lot more light. And this brings up the fact that a lot of people didn't like zombies past Black Ops 2 because of how quote-unquote confusing it got. And I understand that, but in zombies' defense, you don't have to do any of that to proceed, like with high rounds. Black Ops 4, it's even easier because they have the custom mutation mode. Black Ops 3, you have the gobblegums. Like, there's no reason to feel like a casual player cannot be involved. And I'm still on my soapbox, I know, but it's, oh man, like, this game mode is everything. It's been with me since I was like 7. Okay, maybe 9 when Black Ops 1 came out. I'm 17 right now. It's a 10-year cycle. Black Ops 1 came out like 2 years after World at War, so what? I was like 9. Yeah. Okay, my final thought. was Togger Token. Despite what I can say about the cutscene, negative wise, I think it was the only true ending we could get, and it, man, it was emotional. I didn't really show emotion. My reaction was kind of bland, like I said, but it's time to be alive.